Hello, friends, and welcome back to week 85, day 5 of Aether Raids, light season. I've been gone from AR offense videos for about a week and a half, mainly because I've been a little burnt out from real-life obligations at work and at home recently, and also because last week I just decided to sort of take it a bit more casually for Astra season, because last week I didn't have any bonus units that would allow me to run a efficiently scoring and consistent Gale Force setup, being that Legendary Fjorm was the bonus unit when it wasn't water season, and Legendary Ike, like other melee infantry legendary heroes, wasn't going to be on rotation frequently enough for me to consider them worthy skill inheritance investments. So that's why I kind of just opted not to upload anything for the duration of last week's Astra season, and I ended up scoring around the 13,200s. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was all right for me, not trying too hard. I think I took like a couple of matches where I ended up losing a unit or so. And I guess I wanted to use this as a segue to connect to my next topic, which is that I am opening up the mock battle queue, because I'm guessing, or I guess that I'm going to use this as an excuse, potentially, to start uploading AR offense videos more frequently, because the way I've been doing it as of late is that I usually only upload videos whenever I encounter a challenging or sort of interesting team, which is one that I've kind of encountered today. And so yeah, if you're interested in mock battles, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section down below regards to what season you'd like me to fight you guys on. And if you're not on my friends list, your in-game name and friend code. And I don't think I'm going to be doing any mock battles blind, because those usually would take too long for me to sort of strategize and plan out on the spot, unless I did some planning off screen. If you guys are okay with that, just let me know. And yeah, so we're up against a Japanese player who goes by the name of Nikura today, from tier 23 with a legendary Elliowood lead, and I've opted to go with my Gale Force setup this time around. And our bonus structure for this week is the Healing Tower, which I usually don't like running, but since it's the bonus structure, it can't be helped, because usually the Healing Tower screws with intricate HP values for a Gale Force setup, but I think I found a workaround for that for this specific map, and we'll see if we can't keep that up through the rest of the week. And our bonus unit is Sayri, because I have assigned my Apotheosis Anna as the bonus unit for this week in Arena, and I also usually don't like running 4-star bonus units if I can help it. I also don't promote 4-star free-to-play Grail heroes or Tempest Trial units, or Grand Hero Battle, whichever, whatever you want to call them, unless I've taken a liking to them. So that's why Sayri is my bonus unit for this week. And overall, this team that they have, well, first thing that you may notice is that this team is composed of strictly Dark Mythics and Concurrencies and Legendary heroes. And aside from this Leaf, who's +9 and heavily invested into, the rest of the team doesn't seem to be too heavily invested or scary, really. But this sort of layout does cover a lot of ground and leave me very little room to work with, so I thought it might be an interesting take on how to approach a map with Gale Force. Or how to approach a map like this with Gale Force. So, I've taken into account the field debuffs, and nobody's running any chills. Yoon is running a Sabotage, but I plan on approaching from the left side of the map, so the only thing that should really affect me is Sabotage Res. And because of Sabotage Res, my air will actually lose just enough res so that she can't debuff some of these units with Tamari. So Tamari is out of play, but I don't think that'll affect me too harshly. Normally, Bright Shrines affect my Brave Roy, but I've done the calcs, and with bonus stats, Sayri, and visible buffs, Sayri and Amelia can redirect the Bright Shrine debuffs towards them, so Roy can stay relatively debuff free, and that way he can engage this Sothis and be able to take her out even while she triggers her series for healing. So that's pretty important. And because there are 3 mythics, this leaf is actually really thick. If you haven't noticed, Sothis is actually the dragon which allows Eliwood to trigger his Vision of Arcadia. And that means that Leaf has effectively 45 defense, and he also has lull attack defense. So this Leaf is stupidly thick. That's not even fair, to be honest. Like a ranged cavalry unit having this much bulk and attack, which is honestly a little intimidating, but not gonna lie, I had considered giving this match up so that I wouldn't have to risk eating like a minus 80 lift loss on defense from a rematch from this guy, because there's no way this guy's not bringing his plus 9 leaf to AR offense. But I'm doing this for you guys, so if I end up taking a loss from this guy, I'll update you guys in another video. But one thing that I had to note after sort of calculating how much damage each of my Gale Force units could do was that they actually wouldn't be able to take out this leaf without triggering the lightning trap. And it's not going to be a gamble for me because I only need the damage to be 10, or the lightning traps to do 10 damage to this leaf. The only thing I really had to take into consideration was how much damage the lightning traps did, because that would change my sort of execution. Specifically, if the traps did, if this were the trap and did 10 to 20 damage, then Amelia would have to trigger Gale Force off of Brahmin first. If the trap did 30 to 40 damage, then Amelia would have to trigger Gale Force off of Leaf. And if the trap did 50 damage or more, then Roy would be responsible for eliminating 3 units with the help of a dance from Wings of Mercy Peony. And Roy's targets will be Sothis first and foremost, and then Azura. So if this isn't the trap, then what happens is that I end up needing to have Roy attack Azura and then get danced by Peony so that Roy can move onto this tile and trigger the trap, because fortunately for me, Leaf is within range of both of these traps. So that would guarantee that Leaf takes at least 10 extra damage. And from there, Amelia can take out the Brahmin and move up to receive Cardinal Drive buffs from Peony, and that would enable her to have enough attack to take out the Leaf with some Savage Blow damage done prior to him. So that would mean that Roy and Peony trap in this Yoon and also the Eliwood. So I haven't really calculated how many turns that would take, but I think I should be able to make my move on turn 4 or 5, because I do need to clear out these structures and then rearrange my units so that Roy initially, the turn prior, doesn't get any visible buffs, while Amelia and Sayri do. So we'll sort of play around with that, and we'll see how that works out. But the Bolt Tower this time around doesn't really help me out, neither does the Tactics Room, so we'll see if my math was right, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So I want to have my 2 ranged units break these obstacles first. I'm gonna save this for turn 2 because Air has to move back to this position later. So if I move Peony up and break the Kagami Mochi, and then have Air move over to the left to break the flower bed, then the following turn, Peony moves up to break the brick over here. She's going to be within range of these 3 units, so I can have Roy reposition Peony at that point, because Roy does have to be at this tile before he initiates Gale Force. And I think the way that I wanted this to work was that Sayri would receive attack tactic buffs, while Amelia only received Gentle Dream buffs, so that way both of them could soak the Bright Shrine debuffs and would mitigate Amelia's attack just enough so that I could deal a minute amount of damage so that she can still afford to double one of these 2 units after triggering a lightning trap. And that would mean that Peony has to end up over here and get smited on turn 3, I believe, by Air, so I have Peony here. I could have Sayri on this tile. That way she would receive Peony's attack tactic buffs. So I'd probably keep Amelia here. Yeah, probably in this tile over here, so that she avoids the attack tactic buffs from Peony first. And then after Gentle Dream triggers, Amelia would get +3 attack and +3 speed. So that way, these 2 have the same amount of attack and speed combined. Okay, so after we get into position, Rory's going to be here, Peony's going to be here, Air's going to be here. So Sayri ends up over here. I could have Sayri move back a space the turn after. Or move back 2 spaces, maybe? So that after Peony moves over onto Rory's current position, she can dance Amelia. And then Air can move onto this space, which is open. To smite Peony back onto this tile. I'm not sure if that would work. What if... What if Sayri moves here first? Then Peony dances Sayri. And then Amelia can swap places with Air? No, that wouldn't work. Because Peony's occupying this tile already, so... Yeah, this is more complicated to initially set up than I expected, because they're not giving me a lot of room to work with all these range units covering so much ground. So Amelia ends up here. This tile needs to be clear so that Air can smite Peony back over. So okay, wait. If say Sayri was in this position to turn fire, then she moved up. Amelia was over here, and Peony danced Sayri so that Sayri has another movement. Then this tile should be empty because Roy's over here and Amelia's over here. So after that, Air can smite Peony back over to this tile, and then Amelia can move over here, and Sayri can move back down onto this tile. Because what I would need to do is I would have to draw back Amelia up one tile so that Amelia ends up over here. And Air would be on this tile, so she can move over 2 spaces to the left to smite Amelia onto the lightning trap. And that should work. Okay. Alright, I think I have a play. Alright, so Peony goes first. Air goes next. Amelia's gonna go ahead and park here. So will Sayri. Okay. Alright, so next I wanted to have Peony break this obstacle, Air to break this one, then get Roy to repo Peony out of harm's way, and put Sayri onto this tile, so that Sayri gets attack tactic buffs from Peony, while Amelia doesn't. And then the following turn, Amelia can get visible attack buffs from Gentle Dream. So that should allow Amelia to soak Bright Shrine debuffs as well. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, Bolt Tower doesn't actually matter, so you guys can just heal up it. And we'll take into account how to deal with you two once I've managed to sweep the other 4. And so from here, what I want to happen is... well, actually, I think I need to take an extra turn just to clear Roy of visible buffs first. So that he has enough attack to deal with the Sophis. So hold on. Got it. If I end his turn now, he still basically has visible buffs. Why is So this not... Oh, right, it's because I forgot to take into account Blazing Durandal's guard effect. Okay, that makes things a little awkward.
The fight is on. Yes.
Okay, so if I did that, 12 damage, and I took an additional 12 damage from Fury Recoil, that would put Roy at 24 damage taken, which unfortunately isn't going to be enough to trigger Wings of Mercy. So
The glimmer of life.
okay. If I move Air over here, she should avoid getting, or she should end up getting sabotaged by Yoon, so that Tamari no longer affects Sothis. That way Sothis should deal 5 extra damage. So 17 plus 12. That should be 29, which puts Roy in Wings of Mercy range.
The glimmer of life.
So from here, I'd move Amelia back up. And I think I have to take an extra turn to let Yoon's debuffs kick in. And I'm not so certain that this is a concrete strat anymore, to be honest, because initially I needed Amelia and Sayuri to soak the Bright Shrine debuffs, which served 2 purposes. Basically to enable Roy to do enough damage to the Sothis and double her, and also mitigate the amount of damage that Amelia dealt, so that she could still get 2 hits in and trigger Gale Force, regardless of how much damage the trap did. But now that Amelia doesn't have a reduced amount of attack, this actually means that if this trap is the real trap, and it does 40 damage or more, I believe, then this may mean that my strategy is moot. Though I think it comes down to Roy being able to take out Sothis, then this is Zura, and then if this trap does 40 damage or more, it should allow Roy to move up onto this position to take out the leaf. So I guess it should be fine. Okay. So we'll go ahead and end turn here. Okay, so from here, Sothis is still debuffed by Tamari, but if I take an extra turn, Air should be debuffed by Yoon, meaning that the following player phase, Sothis should have her debuffs cleared. So we'll see if that's actually the case. So I see a debuff being procced on Air, which is a good sign. Okay, so now Sothis does 17 damage, which is perfect. And if I do 2 rounds of combat, that's 12 damage recoil from Fury, which is 29, so that puts Roy in Wings of Mercy range. Okay. So from here, Sayri draws Amelia up, and then Air smites Amelia up onto this tile after Roy enters combat with Sothis. And after Roy clears his debuffs after triggering Gale Force, he should be able to double Azura and take her out. And it should be smooth sailing from there. It gives me 2 turns to snag the pots and take care of these two, so we're gonna go ahead and take out Sothis. Oh, one thing I just noticed was that I forgot to put Quick and Pulse back onto Roy, so that's something that I'm definitely going to have to do later. It's a good thing that I was triggering Gale Force off of a unit that could counter. So, from here, I'm going to smite Amelia up. That was the trap. That's 20, so that's perfect. So, Roy can take out Azura. And since that was the trap, I can have Peony land on the fake trap and provide cardinal buffs to Amelia for both engagements. Go ahead and park Roy over here. Hold on. So that's 11 damage. So after I get attack speed solo, that should be 17 damage per hit. So go ahead and put Roy over here. Take out the leaf and trigger Gale Force. And then take out Brahmin. Okay. Just making sure there's nothing weird going on here, so. Okay, Elliowood does his rally and ruse thing. So from here, I could trigger Gale Force off of Yoon. That would open up this Aether Fountain for, say, Air to snipe. And unfortunately, Peony doesn't have enough speed to double this Elliowood, so should I just take an extra turn, then? Or Sayri won't really be of much help here. I could get Amelia to snag this pot right now. So let's see. If Roy doubles, he's going to be at 63, 66 attack, so that's 33 per hit. So that's actually fine. So I could take out this unit, trigger Gale Force, break the Bright Shrine, dance with Peony. Wait. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna need to charge my phone later. Let's see. So what I could do instead, I guess, is not have Peony's cardinal buffs. Roy would have 63 attack, that would be 30 damage per hit, that should still be enough. He'll definitely have enough speed to double this Elliowood. So, Roy takes out this Yoon, Air warps it next to him, snags the Aether, and then I could either dance Roy after he's repositioned to Air, or dance Air out of the way so that Roy can take out the Elliowood. So, that should be one down. Perfect. Okay. That was certainly a noggin exercise, if you could call that one. But I'm glad we got through that one without too many hiccups. So, yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed that match. And I did recall saying that I would show my most recently plus 10 unit, and I was thinking of maybe doing that in the form of a showcase, but I guess I could just give you guys like a sneak peek now. I'm not sure if I want to do showcases, because I'm not sure if it'll turn out really good. I'm not confident, basically. That's what it comes down to. But we'll see if I feel like it in the future. Let's see, what should I click? Change heroes. Right. So this is basically just a collection of heroes from a loot that I've sort of merged up. Some of these are 5-star exclusive, but they're basically the ones that I like. I do have some other ones which I cycle in and out on occasion. If I want to spend some time sort of just admiring my heroes, but Echidna is my most recent plus 10. I ended up pulling her off of the new Powers banner, I believe, with Myrrh, Donald, and Draug. And so yeah, I was pretty excited to finally complete her. Granted, she still does need some Dragon Flowers. I am thinking of building like a defense team around her at some point, but I haven't figured out the king set, and the general idea that I have for it requires a rather strict Dragon Flower distribution for certain units, because I need to meet certain stat requirements. But for now, this is the sort of build that I'm running on her in Arena, because I have Apotheosis Anna, so the two of them just sort of bruise shenanigans the heck out of other players' offense teams, and when I'm playing on offense. But yeah, this is her build, and I do have a couple of other builds for her, which I might put in if I do a showcase. But yeah, this is it for now, and let me know how your day went and how your week's going so far, and take care.